What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of the 2K19 universe. We are at the end of our 4th month leading to the biggest party of the summer, Summerslam. We've got 8 matches for the big event of the summer, but our opening match will in fact be our 2 out of 3 falls World Heavyweight Championship, the No Mercy World title. Bryan defending against Shinsuke Nakamura. Of course, with John Cena involved at Money in the Bank, they had a 2 out of 3 falls match there. And Shinsuke tapped out to Bryan twice. But Shinsuke, he's recovered. He's got a lot of momentum on his side. And he's getting the shot here. He earned it. He's getting a rematch with Bryan. And it's 2 out of 3 falls again. But then we have Velocity's secondary women's title, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's Dakota and Ember Moon. Then we have Cedric Alexander, the European champion on No Mercy, defending against AJ Styles. Then we have Jeff Hardy defending the Velocity TV title in a ladder match against the man who earned the shot, Shelton Benjamin, and Shawn Michaels, who weaseled his way in by defeating Benjamin Daniels before the show. So Shelton and Shawn, no love lost. They've had many matches with the TV title on the line, but Jeff Hardy, he is the most successful champion in Universe to date. And on top of that, he used to be basically winless, not a single win to his name, and now he actually has brought himself back, and he has a winning record now. So he's got all the all 3 guys have plenty of momentum on their side now. It'll be a very interesting ladder match for sure. But then we have a second round match in the No Mercy Women's TV title tournament. It is Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. And of course, Charlotte earned a contract on No Mercy by defeating Nikki Bella, but Nikki also got herself counted out by punching Charlotte in the face with brass knuckles. So, who knows what will happen there? That's what I'll say. But after that, we have the Velocity Women's World title. It's Asuka, it's Bayley, and it's Katelyn Reign. Then we'll have the No Mercy Women's World title match, and that's Becky Lynch and Beth Phoenix. And our main event will be the Rated R Superstar Edge defending the Velocity World title in a steel cage match against CM Punk. I've always had my issues with the AI in the games, but genuinely, as we got JoJo here, doing her damn thing. But, you know, like I said, I've always had my issues with the AI in the games, but I've been just getting good AI matches, you know, whether that be me playing as the AI or AI versus AI. Yeah, I've been having good matches from them. So, at least here in Universe with this game. So, I'm totally cool with just letting them do their damn thing. Especially since for this match, I don't particularly have anyone I'd want to win. I would like Bryan to win to keep, you know, just defending the belt and really kind of do something cool with it, you know, have a bit of a lengthy reign. That's what I want. But yeah, for this series, as we know, I'll roll with anything, and this series is definitely more of like reactionary booking than me planning stuff in advance. I plan a little bit in advance for sure, but this is not meant to be like a super serious, realistic universe. I'm not trying to make like a whole show out of the game, you know. I'm not doing that. It is still me playing a game at the end of the day, and yeah, I'm totally cool with that. If Shinsuke wins, I will roll with it. And will I play some of the matches on the show? I think I will. I think so. But yeah, we've got the King of Strong Style, who, like I said, has earned an opportunity. He's earned his shot. Coming out of Money in the Bank, tapping twice to this man, Bryan. He defeated John Cena the show immediately after Money in the Bank. He's got a big win in an elimination fatal 4-way match that involved himself, obviously, Baron Corbin, John Cena, and Aleister Black, who all had momentum on their side. And while Cena and Bryan, I'm almost positive, though I don't remember off the top of my head, I'm almost positive, did win. They did. They won in the tag match just a few nights ago on No Mercy. But that's in tag action. And Shinsuke and Corbin still looked very good in that match. So you cannot discount Shinsuke here. But the No Mercy World Heavyweight Championship, there it is. As Shinsuke, you see, he's feeling it. He's ready. And this could be an absolute tough match. And also, you know, this match could realistically be as well. It could be a match of the night, if we're being honest. Will it be? Tough to say. We've got a lot of very interesting matches to come. But I mean, we know what they can do. But we saw there Bryan handing that title over. The referee about to hand or raise the title in the air. And here we go. Bryan immediately runs forward, but they bump into each other, but they lock up instead of whatever they wanted. And get shoved into the corner here. And we get a clean break. Alright. But Shinsuke able to counter and drop Bryan on that middle rope, and now just choking him out, sending the throat into that middle rope. But Bryan quickly shoves Shinsuke away and takes the advantage right back. And that's what we've got to do. But they lock up again, and Bryan going to shove Shinsuke into the ropes this time. Will we get another clean break? We do. I'm surprised. But maybe there is a little more respect between these two than I thought. But the knee was blocked, and Bryan takes him down with a forearm. But Shinsuke immediately pops back to his feet. Uppercut there. But Bryan able to counter. Going to get Shinsuke in the corner. But instead of a drop kick, Shinsuke moved out of the way. But Bryan's right back on the attack as it is. But Shinsuke able to counter. And he gets the knee to the gut that time. That's for sure. But Bryan able to counter super kick. And a Frankensteiner. And now here we go. Rapid fire curb stomps. Alright, Bryan going for a quick pin here. Got a 1, but only a 1. Of course, like I said as well, it is 2 out of 3 falls. So just like at Money in the Bank, these two men have to get 2 falls, whether it be pin, submission, a DQ, a countout, doesn't really matter. You have to get 2 falls over your opponent. Shinsuke able to stop Bryan from going for whatever he wanted. Now he shoves him away. Quickly pulls him back in for a gourd buster. And there's a knee right to the skull of Bryan. Shinsuke with a clear advantage. Got Bryan off the ropes. Oh, knee got blocked again. Bryan takes him down by the legs. Now got him in a single leg Boston Crab, but that's an immediate rope break. As Bryan thought about running to the corner, decided against it. And if, like I said, the AI's glitched. That's happened before. There's a well-known glitch in 2K17 where if you taunt in the corner, you're stuck in the corner. I've experienced that glitch during many original universe recording sessions. Let me tell you that. It was never fun because you either had to just wait till the opponent got up and attacked the opponent, which I mean, of course, original universe, I was controlling everything at that point, so that could work, or you just had to restart the match, and it all depended. Because sometimes you really didn't want to restart, especially if you were deep into a take that you really liked. But Shinsuke got the advantage here, reverse suplex. Shinsuke's had the advantage for a little bit now, but Bryan blocked the forearm. Now forearm of his own. Bryan off the ropes again, and Shinsuke got the knee again, and a kick to the chest follows. Now pulling Bryan closer to the middle of the ring. He's got not even a one. Bryan just lifts the shoulder off the canvas, but it wasn't even a 1 count. Shinsuke, second rope here. But missile dropkick does not connect. Bryan saw it coming. But Shinsuke gonna take him down by the arm. Now second rope again. And he wants Bryan on his feet here. Big knee off the second rope. Holy hell. Got a 1. Got a 2. But Bryan kicks out. Not quite the Kinshasa. But Shinsuke's measuring the champion here. Got the kick to the gut. Kinshasa! Could that be enough to put away the champion? Got a 2. No. Kick out of the Kinshasa there. But Shinsuke, he's been looking very good in this match. Bryan looked good early, but as of late, it's been all Shinsuke. But there's an elbow to the forehead. Now Bryan quickly runs in, drops him down by the arm. He's got the yes lock. Can he make Shinsuke tap out again? And he does! Shinsuke has to submit to the yes lock. That's the first fall to the champion. But now look at this, immediately going in again. Cattle mutilation now. Pulling out his inner American dragon. Shinsuke's face was driven into the mat there. But Shinsuke able to turn it over and fight his way out, but Bryan blocks. Now Bryan back on the attack just like that. Oh, but he tried to take out the legs, didn't work. He's got Bryan up for the Ushigoroshi. Beautifully executed. Huge, stiff right hand. Inverted exploder by Shinsuke, who's on the back foot now. But can he turn that into a fall? Hooks the leg. Got a 1, got a 2. Only a near fall. Shinsuke still not on the board. But he's measuring the champion once again. But the leg was caught, shut down. Oh, but he was able to just slightly duck, send Bryan flying over him with a flying elbow attempt. Now he's going to send Bryan ricocheting off that top rope. But just like this, Bryan able to counter, back on his feet now. But raking the eyes, playing a bit dirty, knee to the gut as well. And then a kick to the face. Shinsuke got all the momentum right now. Or trying to take it back, but the kick was blocked. He takes him down again. The submission specialist now middle of the ring. Single leg Boston Crab. Shinsuke crawling to the ropes. Referee was in great position to see a tap out, but there was not one. Shinsuke fought out, and Bryan heads to the floor as Shinsuke catches his breath in the ring. Bryan runs right back in. And Shinsuke gonna start laying into him with these strikes and a huge knee to the skull. Not the Kinshasa, but he's gonna pin off of it anyway. Got a 2. And Bryan just lifts the shoulder off the canvas at a count of 2. Shinsuke has to do something to get on the board here. If he taps out to Bryan twice again, he is absolutely out of the title picture for a while. He's gotta be. There's no coming back from that. But Bryan able to counter with an arm drag. Shinsuke able to counter though. Striking away. And another huge knee to the skull. But once again, just going back and forth here as Bryan has the advantage again. But Shinsuke blocked the punch. But there's an uppercut from Bryan. Just strike after strike. Release Saito suplex. And Shinsuke measuring Bryan again. He's got it. Here we go. Kinshasa again. Hooks the leg. Got a one. Got a two. And another near fall. Another near fall. Still has not got a single one down. But he gets shoved away. Clothesline backed into the corner. Just stomping away here. And here's alley-oop. Bryan back and neck first back into the canvas. Shinsuke feeling good here. Oh, kick to the top of the skull by Bryan. Trying to get back into it, but he can't capitalize. There's a release German. Shinsuke, as we know, still not on the board. It's 1-0 champion Bryan. Knee drop, going for the pin. Got a one, got a two, and still just a near fall. What does Shinsuke have to do to put away Daniel Bryan? That is the ultimate question here. But here's another knee. But rolls out, doesn't stick for the pin. But Bryan here, jawbreaker, trying to get back on the attack. Flying elbow. And now it's Shinsuke's turn to roll out of the ring and hit the floor. And Bryan's feeling good right now. And he's going to tell Shinsuke, get your ass back in the ring. And Shinsuke does exactly that. He's got him up for the landslide, but doesn't stick for the pin. But instead, Shinsuke back to that second rope. Is he going to look for that second rope knee strike? He does, and he nails it. Will this be enough? No, he's not even going for the pin off of it. No, he just want to do a little bit more damage. And will it be enough? No. Shinsuke is in disbelief. What does he have to do to even get on the board once at this point? And now he's really turning to some dirty tricks. If this doesn't work here. But here we go. No! Bryan blocked the Kinshasa that time! Now going for an immediate pin here. Is this enough? Got a two. Got a three! Shinsuke's face ricocheted off the mat a little too hard. He was knocked senseless there. And Bryan able to capitalize, get the win. And Shinsuke went 2 falls down on Daniel Bryan again. Just couldn't put him away. Nothing he did was able to work. Not at all. And just like that, Daniel Bryan is still your world champion on No Mercy. That's huge. Let the man celebrate. Where does he go from here, and where does Shinsuke go from here? That is the biggest question of the day right now. Congratulations, Bryan. And now our next match, of course, is Dakota Kai versus Ember Moon to crown the Women's Intercontinental Championship match, which is the secondary women's title on Velocity. Let's do it. And I will once again stay out of this match. But I will say, I've still been thinking about what I want to do with this series, and I've got a different idea. So I don't like having 2 shows where the rosters are getting much bigger. I don't like having 8 championships. So I'm going to do something a bit different. We'll get through SummerSlam, obviously, with the way that's been booked. And I'll let them come out a little bit, but I will skip their entrances for the most part, because, at least for these 2, we had their entrances before I start recording. But there's the captain, the leader of Team Kick, Captain Kai. I wouldn't say Dakota Kai, but Captain just came out again. And then, of course, we have Ember. But yeah, so I was thinking, instead of what I was originally planning to keep the series going, I do still want to do that. I like the idea of a continuous series. But, as I set the controller down here, but the thing is, as they get underway, yeah. So what I'm going to do is, for the sake of this series, and still wanting to have, like, small rosters, what I'm going to do is, what I'm thinking, anyway, is I'm going to have Velocity be the men's roster, and I'm going to have the women have their own show with No Mercy. And then I will, like I said, I'll have the results of SummerSlam be, like, SummerSlam will still take place, obviously, we're recording it here, but, yeah, I still want it to be, like, a casual show and everything. Ember Moon just springboarded and took out the referee. We have No Mercy's referee, I think. Do I have a set referee for No Mercy? I have to, right? It's not Mike Dyson. I don't remember who it is. Regardless, Ember took out the referee, but she's got the upper hand still, so that's fine. But regardless, yeah. So Velocity will be the men's roster. No Mercy will be a show dedicated to the women. It'll still be smaller rosters. And now, the women's roster as a whole is still small regardless. So I'm thinking of having, like, a 15-person cap on the rosters. I don't want them bigger than that, really. I might make the occasional exception, but probably not. I don't really want them much bigger than 15, and that's probably the cap we'll put on them. They'll probably be smaller, and the women's roster for both shows combined will be smaller than that anyway, so that's what I'll roll with. In fact, I started with 6 women on both shows, so that's 12, and then No Mercy's got 2 extras with Natty and... No, was Natty already on the show? No, I think she was invited in one on No Mercy. So Natty and Charlotte earned a contract. So it'd be 14, right? So I think that works. So No Mercy, I won't have to do much. I'll just have to, like, unify the women's titles and have 2. And I'm going to do the same thing with the men's rosters, but since the men's rosters have been around in the series longer, I'm going to do a bit more. And next month, or next in-game month, I'm going to... Oh, chiropractor! Put a hold on what I was saying real quick. This could be the end of the match. Dakota Kai could be the first women's Intercontinental Champion. And she is! Oh, that was a quick match, goddamn. Congratulations, Captain. I still like you a lot, Ember, but you didn't win, but that's fine. But yeah, so, I'm gonna make it a little bit more. The men's rosters are obviously bigger, because Velocity has 13 or 14, I think, and then No Mercy has 11 or 12. So I obviously don't want to have, like, a 25-person roster for the men. So the champions coming out of SummerSlam for the men will be guaranteed to keep their spots. But I'm going to have, like, this big tournament on... I know, another fucking tournament, but tournaments are fun. Tournaments are cool as fuck. Leave me alone. But regardless, yeah, I'm going to have this big kind of, like, cross-brand tournament for the men where I'll actually go through and make a new Velocity arena that kind of meshes Velocity and... Well, maybe not. I haven't decided yet. But I've got an idea for potentially making a Velocity and... No Mercy combined arena temporarily for the next month of shows, having this big men's tournament and setting that up based on like win-loss records, who's got the best records, who's got the worst records, and they'll face each other. And my idea is like they'll face each other, and then that can lead into who actually stays on Velocity, the men's show at that point. And we'll jump into the European title match, Cedric defending against AJ Styles as well. I think this one I'll also stay out of, just let whatever happen. But yeah, so that's the idea there. And part of the idea for me is I'm thinking having it based on I can have like the Velocity, kind of like two sides of a bracket. Have like all the Velocity men on one side, have all the No Mercy men on another side. And then the Velocity tournament, I was thinking of ending with whatever man wins the Velocity tournament can then go on to face the Velocity World Champion, either Punk or Edge, whoever wins in the Steel Cage match at the end of this show. And then they'll be the Velocity World Champion, and then the No Mercy side will end with the winner of their side going on to face the World Heavyweight Champion Daniel Bryan, and then whoever wins, then both winners of their respective brackets will face each other, or both champions will face each other, and will unify the belts. Now, I'm not sure. God, I love that black and red attire made for him. But, like, I'm not sure what I want to do necessarily for what titles I'm going to use for the men. Because I love the custom titles I use for Velocity. But, like, I like that I still... But, you know, I like that I still have some of, like, Tyson's influence on the series in here, and like it'll still be a thing because we'll also have weekly No Mercy. But I don't know. I don't want to give up my Velocity World title because it's such a it's such a pretty custom title that I wish I still had the name of whoever made it on here on Community Creations. But I don't, and I can't look it up because the servers have been gone for a few years now. But it's such a pretty title. I love it so much, and I don't want to give that up. But I also don't want to give up the TV title. But I do like the European title, and I like the World Heavyweight title. I mean, Big Gold's one of my favorite titles ever. You know what I mean? So, like, I don't particularly want to, like, give up either of those titles. Well, the European title I'm actually okay with. I've never been a huge fan of the design. Like, it's a good-looking title. I like it, but it's just, you know, it was in direct comparison to the Intercontinental title, and, like, that title is special. Like, and I know it's not just special to me. That's a special title. Like, every design of the Intercontinental title is, like, beautiful. It's like one of the best looking titles WWE has ever had. Consistently, it's always had good designs. It's always looked good, and you know, even if it may not be as prestigious as it once was, it's not necessarily the workhorse title anymore. Like, it's still got that like meaning and that history behind it. And to me, it's a more important title than the WWE title. You know, to me, in terms of prestige and history, it's up there with the World Heavyweight title. Which, obviously, we know the World Heavyweight title dates back to the NWA and WCW. It's, you know. Even if, technically speaking, they are different lineages, because WWE's World Heavyweight title only counts from Triple H being awarded the title in 2002, and then up to 2013, because for some reason they didn't actually combine the title histories, and I don't understand why. Like, that doesn't make sense. But this is a rant. This is a very strange, very weird rant I'm going on now. But regardless, yeah, I like the idea of keeping some of Tyson's influence on the series, because he's still my best friend at the end of the day, you know? And, like, I do still have that with No Mercy, so I'm not too worried about it. But also, I do like the idea of just letting the matches happen when I get to the end of everything there, and just, you know, carrying over a title lineage. But then I'm thinking, in terms of this series, you know, we'd be going on our 5th month of title history with the TV title and the Velocity World title, whereas we only would have 2 months of the European and the World Heavyweight. So I don't know. I don't know. And while I'm also keeping those stats and everything on my own, when I pull them up in the videos through the game, they wouldn't really be there. So if I wanted to keep referencing those and show them on camera, that would just make even more work for me in post, which is fine. I love editing. Like, I don't do a lot of, like, serious, like, heavily edited shit anymore. I did do that for quite a while, and I've kind of gotten away from that. Just because, like, and, you know, that's a different conversation, but, the TLDR of that is, I think I just really like a more, especially now in recent years with, like, fast-paced, heavily edited content becoming so popular, it just takes me back to what made me fall in love with, like, YouTube content as a whole, with, like, the Let's Play era. And, like, there was editing done, but it was very laid back, casual editing, and you just had, like, a nice, like, bingeable series that was almost like watching a friend play a game. Like, just being there watching your friend playing a game. That's what a lot of the classic Let's Play era was, and that's the era that I kind of came up really falling in love with content for. So that's kind of like where my editing switch happened, and why I don't really do anything super intensive anymore with the editing. But again, TLDR, that doesn't matter too much. But regardless, yeah, Cedric's been looking good. But anyway, I'm probably just gonna... It's a tough situation for the titles, right? Because, like, I want to keep using the Velocity World title and TV title, but then, like, I have to just edit in... If I want to show them on camera when I carry it over into 2K22, once I'm done with the 2K19 portion, because I do still want to do that, I would just have to, like, edit all of, like, those stats and championship histories and stuff in the videos anyway, right? If I wanted to show them. Because, like, they wouldn't effectively show in, they wouldn't show in-game. They wouldn't. It would only show for what starts 2K22. And even then, my Velocity titles are custom titles anyway, meaning I'd have to try and recreate them, and I'm terrible at making custom titles, especially because I don't have, like, the logos to work with or anything, so yeah. And even if I did, you can't do the logo editor, logo uploader, or whatever it is on 2K's website for 2K22 anymore, so that's also just not a thing that I could do. So I would have to either just do, like, my easy custom European World Heavyweight titles anyway, which then would make me think, oh, okay, well, maybe I should just use the use the European World Heavyweight title anyway, because, like, I'll always be able to make my own custom versions of those to clear out the real life stats and have my own. I'll always be able to do that. But, like, and the thing is, with the TV title, I could always just use the ECW TV title. Like, ever since they put that back in the games, it hasn't, like, missed a game, I don't think. Like, it was technically Like, the TV title was technically unlockable in 16, but you could only unlock it through doing something online. Because quite a few of the titles were like that in 2K16. So now you can't get them unless you have the accelerator, or if you have your old save file, with them unlocked. But yeah, since then it's just been like the VC purchasable thing. So just get some VC and then get the title, you know? And yeah, I don't think it's... But since then, I don't think it's missed a game. I think it's been pretty accessible. As AJ hit the goddamn spiral tap, by the way. But didn't go for a pin. But yeah, that's a long-winded rant with the titles. And I don't really know exactly what I'm going to do there. Cedric saying ballin'. But I do have a strong idea of what I'm going to do to end up unifying the titles, which will happen. But AJ playing a bit dirty, hanging about to dry on the ropes from the outside, Styles clash into the pin. Can Cedric's reign end? No, it doesn't. The perseverance of Cedric Alexander, one half of the heart and soul of 205 Live, that doesn't matter here. But he's staying alive thanks to that heart. Or is he the soul? I don't know. Regardless, that doesn't matter. Cedric he's still in it, but AJ is beating that booty right now. That's what I can say. AJ's tired, but he falls into the pin, but it's not enough. But yeah, ultimately, that's kind of like what I was getting at through that very long-winded rant and explanation. But TLDR is, I do have a very strong sense of like what I'm going to do to unify the titles, and what matters is I will make Velocity a show dedicated to the men's roster and keep it very small, no more than 15, and the same will apply to No Mercy, but that will be dedicated to the women who have been brought in recently. But regardless, actually checking into this match, we've seen one title get retained, and of course we've seen a title be crowned for the first time. But can Cedric Alexander join his No Mercy champion brother, Daniel Bryan, and keep this European title in his grasp? But here we go. Calf killer away from the ropes. Will Cedric tap out? No, he doesn't. He fights out quickly. That is the heart of this man, Cedric Alexander. He does not give up easily. Now he's going to make AJ rebound off that top rope. But AJ fighting back just like that. Cedric moved out of the way. Keeps him on the ground with that kick to the ribs. But he is feeling it right now, I can tell you that. And what is he going to do here? He's got him. That's a far distance away, but he wants him on his feet. We've got a springboard, and AJ blocked the clothesline again before stomping on the back of the arm. And here we go. Here's the Shining Enziguri from AJ Styles. And he's got him up. Oshigoroshi, but no, elbow to the side of the skull. And Cedric's got the upper hand here. And he's going to slow it down with a rear chin lock. That is not what I would have done if I was Cedric. But maybe he just needed to recover a little bit. AJ couldn't fight out. He's too worn out. But AJ rolls to the floor. Cedric to the top rope here. Waiting for Styles to get on his feet. And no! Styles moved out of the way again. Cedric eating shit on the floor. But he caught the leg. And here's a capture suplex on the end of the ramp. And Cedric back inside the ring. Cedric said, you know what? Enough's enough. A countout is a way for me to retain my title. And I will take it at this point. But Styles back inside the ring. Cedric blocks. He's got Styles up for a brainbuster again. I saw him hit one earlier while I was ranting. Got a 1. Got a 2. Got a 3. Cedric keeps the European title. And both men's titles on No Mercy have been successfully defended. Ultimately, I'd say making them a bit more prestigious than the Velocity titles, if you do ask me. Honestly, as I was starting to focus more on the match, after kind of ending my rant, I thought that Styles Clash would be the end, and it was not. And congratulations, Cedric Alexander. That's exactly what you needed, man. You got it done. But next up, I don't remember off the top of my head. Oh, right. It is the Velocity TV title ladder match. We've got the champion Jeff Hardy, who is the most successful champion here in the universe, defending the title more times than anyone else. He couldn't even win a match, and now he's got a winning record, defended that title more than anybody else has ever defended a title in the universe, held it for longer in one reign, and he's going against the two people who hot potatoed this title earlier in the universe. Neither one could really get the advantage over the other. Originally, it was going to be one-on-one Shelton and Jeff after Shelton beat a bunch of people in a battle royal, but Shawn defeated Ben Daniels, who just earned himself a Velocity contract, and Shawn won in dominant fashion, no less, saying if he won that match, he said he deserved to be added to this match because that means he has beaten everyone who was in the Battle Royal, minus Kofi Kingston, who was invited to the show. But Kofi did not earn himself a contract, and he did not win that match. But regardless, we need to jump in here. And I feel like I should play as someone because the AI is brain dead in ladder matches. And it could also last quite a while if I don't. But you know what? Maybe I just let the AI, maybe I just see what the AI can do. Now, obviously, who do I want to win since I'm staying out of it? Jeff Hardy. I want him to win, keep up his winning ways right now, and continue to make the TV title actually feel prestigious. I want him to do that. But with this motherfucker right here, Shawn Michaels, you never know what's going to happen. He is glued to this goddamn title. But Shawn was unsuccessful in challenging for the Velocity World title again. He was completely unsuccessful, and Shelton has been out of the title picture since he failed to regain the title in that tournament for the vacant title back at Extreme Rules. As Shelton lost in the finals to the Bryan Kendrick. But in saying that, Jeff Hardy also lost. But Jeff Hardy was able to rebound after having a great and lengthy round 1 match in that tournament to Christian. They went absolutely back and forth. The title, obviously Jeff doesn't have it with him, is already hanging above the ring. And yeah, he was able to rebound, take the title from Kendrick, and defend it numerous times. Keeping the belt against Kendrick a couple of times, keeping the belt against Roderick Strong as well. But here we go. Shelton wanted Shawn first. Shawn wanted Jeff. And here's a German release as Jeff got knocked into the corner by HBK. And now just taking it to him. Now Jeff popped out of the corner, taking it right to Shelton, who fights him off, elbow to the skull. Oh, but Jeff with a drop toe hold, Shelton on the ropes. And now Jeff Hardy rebounds and drops the leg over him as Jeff got hit with that ladder as Shawn slid it into the ring. But getting fought off. Oh, Shawn ducked, and there's the forearm as Jeff picks the ladder up. Oh, Shawn able to narrowly avoid getting hit with the ladder, but he can't avoid it that time as Jeff takes them both out with it. And he's going to focus in, trying to do some damage to Shelton here, who rolls out of the way, taking the ladder from the charismatic Enigma. But Shelton with the upper hand here. And there's a backbreaker keeping him down. And the clothesline finally works, taking Shawn down. Jeff rolls out to the floor. Shawn takes the upper hand, sweeping out the legs. And now we're back to Shawn Michaels and Shelton Benjamin, who have had banger after banger as they traded the title back and forth earlier in the series. And we're back to them one-on-one in the ring right now as Jeff is out of the picture. Temporarily, anyway. But Shawn in the corner, but he moves out of the way. Immediately grabbing Shelton, who shuts him down and hits him with another clothesline, laying him out as Jeff Hardy, the champion, back inside the ring. Shawn sweeps out the legs again here. And here's a big sit-out jawbreaker. That is classic Jeff Hardy offense there. As now Shawn's the one going to the floor and damn near took the ladder with him. As Jeff working over the arm. Just trying to do anything to keep Shelton down. But Shelton took him down. HBK back in the ring and Shelton keeping the advantage. He went for a super kick, but it got blocked. And here's a swinging neck breaker to Shelton. As Jeff ladder in hand again. And Shawn was too focused on Shelton. Got laid out with that ladder from Jeff Hardy. Both men down and the champion sets it up middle of the ring, and he's feeling good, perhaps signaling to climb the ladder. No, he's not. No, yes, he is. But he doesn't see Shelton climbing back on his feet. Jeff's got the title in his hands. Shelton climbing the ladder here. Oh, Shelton blocked. Going back and forth here. Face first on the ladder goes Shelton. Off the ladder. But Shawn uses that opportunity to pull Jeff down. And a big shot to the face as Jeff rolls to the apron. But Jeff able to counter, punching Shawn in the face, but the leg was caught. Oh, Jeff flips out of the backbreaker attempt. And he's got him. Twist of fate. Shelton still down as Jeff quickly climbing. He's got the title in his hands. Shelton still down on the outside. Will this be a quick ladder match victory for the charismatic Enigma? No one to stop him here. Shelton finally back inside the ring. Trying to move around Shawn. But he is too late. That's a quick ladder match win, and Jeff Hardy successfully retains the TV title again for the 4th time now. And he did it against the two people who helped put the title on the map. That was a disappointing ladder match. I should have played it. But regardless, I got the result that I wanted, so that is fine with me at the end of the day. So, okay. Jeff Hardy is still your TV champion, and that is another title defense, by the way. The only title that has changed, or the only title that has been won, was one that didn't have a whole title holder anyway. It didn't have a champion anyway. But nonetheless, it is time for a No Mercy women's TV title match. Tournament match, that is. It's not for the title, it's a tournament match. It's Sasha Banks and Charlotte going one-on-one here. And I have no stakes in this match, to be honest. I really don't. So, we'll see what happens. But it is Sasha Banks and Charlotte Flair. Sasha was signed, or was a part of like the women's, the debuting women's roster on No Mercy. And Charlotte earned a contract. But Charlotte to the ring first, and there is Nikki Bella with a kendo stick in hand. A kendo stick, a Singapore cane, getting shots in on Charlotte Flair, who's just started dragging Nikki Bella. Of course, Nikki Bella cost herself a win. That's the reason why she's not in this match. She cost herself a win, which led to Charlotte winning by disqualification. And Charlotte trying to fight off Nikki Bella here. So we'll see if this match even happens. Oh, there's a Bella Buster on the stage, though. Nikki laying into the Queen here. But Charlotte doing her best to fight off Nikki. She's running, trying to get away from Nikki, trying to get into the ring, start the match. But Nikki follows. She's determined to take out Charlotte here, make a statement of some kind. And the referee, this is not the match. He's not starting the match, not calling for the bell. But Nikki just doing anything to take out Charlotte, as she's got this heel hook that Charlotte has to fight out of. But now Nikki, she's got her, slamming her back down. I don't know why it says winner there. This was not a match. Not a match at all. But the referee is saying Charlotte is not good right now. The referee said Charlotte's not good right now. He's not okaying the match to go down. So unfortunately, that match just does not happen. And what the hell does that even mean? Like, there is not a winner. It's a no contest as Nikki Bella ruins the match. But, okay. But now it is time to crown our first Velocity Women's World Champion. It's a triple threat. It's the Empress of Tomorrow, Asuka. It's Bayley. And it's Katelyn Rain. And of course, it features my own creation, Katelyn Rain. My own custom character. So I am definitely staying out of this match. There will be no bias from me. Any woman is capable of winning, if I do say so myself. But nonetheless, we'll see what we got. And hopefully there's no goddamn interference in this one either. Because, I mean, Nikki, like I said, she cost herself a win on No Mercy in the round 1 tournament match. She did. She's the reason why Charlotte advanced and earned a contract. But regardless, she ruined the match, and the match did not happen. So instead, we move on. We pivot towards the Velocity Women's World Title match. And we see the Empress here. We got Asuka. She, of course, got here by defeating Dakota Kai on the last episode. No, 2 episodes of Velocity ago. Bayley got here by defeating Ember Moon. The always lovable hugger got here by defeating Ember Moon, like I said, to earn her shot into this triple threat for the title. And Katelyn Rain got here by defeating one Maria Kanellis. Of course, Maria down on her luck at the moment, having competed a few times now and losing every match. But there we go. Like I said, Velocity Women's World Title. Hold it up, referee for SummerSlam. And another triple threat. But we'll see what we got. Bayley and Asuka immediately start taking it to each other as Katelyn temporarily stayed out of the way before interjecting herself into the fighting as she nailed Dr. Teeth there. Blocks the drop kick from Asuka, but Asuka caught the leg. Now, I mean, there is an internal bias from me with Katelyn Rain, obviously. It's very obvious. She's my own creation, but god damn it. Regardless, I will say, you do not want to strike with Asuka. Don't do it. She'll kick your damn head in. But nonetheless, she was able to take down Bayley, who was able to counter and drop her that DDT. And Katelyn now rolling to the floor as there's a suplex from Asuka taking Bayley down. Spinning back fist countered by Bayley, but the roll through from Asuka, drop toe hold. All these strikes immediately stunning Bayley upon impact, and then Katelyn comes in and drop kicks both women down low, knocking them down. But caught her off guard, possum pin, got a one, not even a one before it's broken up by Asuka. But now the strikes working over Asuka from Katelyn Rain, but not for very long. The clothesline takes Katelyn down. But Asuka fighting Bayley off just for Katelyn to grab her and for her to drop her because Bayley took both women down. But Katelyn slipped at the back door, shot to the legs. And now look at this. Katelyn Rain with a DDT, just flattening Bayley like a pancake. And she was able to block Asuka's move there. And dumps Asuka up and over the ropes and to the floor. And now she thought about staying out there with Asuka besides to just catch her breath on the inside first. But Bayley back on her feet. All three women on the outside. Asuka thrown gut first into the corner of the announce table. You're going to feel that pain. That is for sure. But now we got Bayley and Katelyn going at it one-on-one again here on the floor. Bayley sends her back inside the ring. Asuka still down. Bayley decides to play cat and mouse, I guess. I don't know, but Asuka from behind, Saito suplex. But Bayley sweeps out the legs, taking Asuka down. Now got Asuka in the corner. But took too much time. Asuka able to counter. Asuka was focused on Katelyn Rain and got dropped the Russian leg. And Bayley feeling good here. Bayley feeling good, but Katelyn able to counter. Blocks the knife edge chop. And look at this. The axe handles here from Bayley. She's really feeling good. There's the shoulder in the corner. Whoa, here we go. We want some Bayley elbow. Staggered. Oh, Katelyn able to move out the way, but slips at the back door. Scorpion death drop. And there's an axe handle to Asuka as well. Bayley firing on all cylinders here. Oh, but the double knees didn't work. Right into a cross armbar. Armbar from Asuka. This armbar can do damage very quickly. But Katelyn able to stop Asuka. But here's a release Saito suplex, just throwing Katelyn Rain. But now here we go. Asuka lock. That's how she beat Dakota Kai on Velocity. Katelyn just now recovering. And Bayley submits. Bayley submitted right as Katelyn Rain got back up. And Asuka is your women's champion. on Velocity. Holy hell. Asuka. Honestly, I didn't expect anything less. Huge win for Asuka. Huge win for the Empress. And now let her get off the turnbuckle to be awarded that title that is now in her possession. Congratulations, Asuka. You absolutely deserve it. And we've got 2 more matches on the docket. And the next one is the Velocity Women's, or the No Mercy Women's World Title. It is the man, Becky Lynch, against the Glamazon, Beth Phoenix. And if Beth can get the win here, that'll mean, at least for the time being, she and her husband will both be world champions here in this universe. Which will be a neat little fun fact. But Edge will still have to beat CM Punk in a steel cage in the main event. Which would not be an easy task. At least you would assume it would not be an easy task. But regardless, Becky's out here. She's feeling good. She is the man. And she's back at Summerslam with which was the birthplace of the man character. I mean, technically, no, it wasn't, but, you know, she became the man after turning on Charlotte in real life at SummerSlam 2018. So, yeah, the birth of the man character was at SummerSlam 2018. And if you disagree, bite me. But regardless, here is the Glamazon. The always impressive Beth Phoenix, who will be the No Mercy Women's World Champion. That is the biggest question. You see, there is the belt. Hold it up, referee. Let's fucking go. They lock up Becky with the upper hand first, wrenching on the back in that waist lock. And she gets the upper hand, which I think was to be expected. Becky would have the technical advantage, and she uses that to her advantage to work over the arm with that Fujiwara armbar. And of course, the more damage she does to the arm, the more likely Beth taps out to the disarmor. But Beth, it's still early, and she's got the advantage now after that rebound back elbow. But there's a deep arm drag. But there's going back and forth here, and Becky to the floor. And Beth gonna follow. But now, Becky able to counter. But here's a gut buster. That gut buster shortly after led to the Glam Slam in Beth's debut match against Sasha Banks and Carmella. But Beth out of the ring. And a double stomp there after taking out the legs. Holy hell, we don't see that kind of athleticism from Beth too often. But it was so nice. But now slow it down. We've got this chin lock. Just wrenching on it, wearing Becky out. And the last kicker couldn't get out of it. But she pops right back up after Beth finally let it go. And there's a forearm just planted in the corner. Now working over the arms again. Now dragging her away from that corner. I'm going to go for a quick pin here. Got a 1 and barely a 1 at that. But now drop kick to the back of the neck. But Beth quickly takes her down and gives her a taste of her own medicine going for the arms. But Becky quickly shut her down as once again taking it to the arms with that arm wringer leg drop combination. And now she's got her game plan 100%. But Beth able to counter with the arm drag. Becky moved out of the way of the boot. But too slow, couldn't take advantage. And once again now, gonna slow it down a little bit. We got a dragon sleeper. But that wasn't the best ring positioning by Beth. But after repositioning Becky's prone body, she drops the elbow. Slow and precise after feeling pretty good with that taunt. Becky able to counter. Bexploder! And now Becky with the clear advantage. But can she keep it? As she is measuring the Glamazon right here. She tried to take her down, but it didn't work. But Becky's still a little bit quicker on the exchange. She shoves her away. Kick to the gut. But Beth takes her down with a lariat. But Becky quickly gets back up. And there's the forearm in that corner again, taking the Glamazon down. But now look at this. Triangle choke. But Beth's foot just went underneath the bottom rope for the referee to call for the break. But Beth back on her feet. Uppercut there. Big right hand. She's got Becky up for the Glam Slam. Is that the end of Becky Lynch? Got a 2. No, it's not. Becky able to kick out. Able to do what Carmella couldn't on No Mercy. And Beth, what does she do? A boot to the face. But Becky retaliates with an uppercut of her own there. Oh, she quickly goes behind and drops Beth on her own arm with a Scorpion Death Drop. And now Becky feeling good here. There's a lariat. And another. And a calf kick. Firing on all cylinders. With a clear upper hand. But Beth able to shut her down. To kick it. Just kick away at the leg. As there's a backbreaker. Beth shutting down the locomotion of Becky Lynch. But Becky, no, just going back and forth here. And I truly mean that as Beth once again shuts her down, slamming her to the floor. Now just dragging Becky to the ropes and dumps her to the floor again. Just like she did early in the match, and she is feeling good right now. I don't know if she should be feeling that good, though, knowing Becky kicked out of her best shot. She's got some other moves in her arsenal, don't get me wrong, but Becky kicked out of her best shot. And Becky hasn't even hit hers yet. But if Beth can keep avoiding the disarmor, there's not much else Becky can do to finish a match. But here we go. Bexploder as they get back inside the ring. Picks her straight back up on the canvas. And here we go. Disarmor away from the ropes. Will Beth submit? We have 2 submission victories in a row here. Beth trying to fight out. And she does. Oh no, Becky let it go actually. But she's going to go for a pin anyway. Was it enough? Was the damage done? No! Beth kicks out anyway. Beth kicks out anyway. And Beth just able to hit the jawbreaker. Stiff right hand again. Using what strength she has left in her arms to hit her with another glam slam. She doesn't go right in for the pin. A bit delayed. But nonetheless, Beth Phoenix is your first Women's World Champion here on No Mercy. Becky did what she could. She fought valiantly. But in the end, it wasn't enough as Beth was able to hit a second glam slam for the win, surviving that disarmor. And good for you, Beth Phoenix. At least for a little bit, you can go celebrate with your husband. Celebrate the fact that you're both world champions. Talk about a power couple if there ever was one. But speaking of her husband, it's almost time for him to defend his Velocity World title against the self-proclaimed best in the world, CM Punk. And of course, as we know, that match is taking place inside of a steel cage. And now it is time for our main event here with SummerSlam that's weirdly in Sacramento. This man has been waiting 3 months for a one-on-one opportunity at the Velocity World title. He earned that back at Backlash, the pay-per-view for the first month of the series, and he never got it until right now. Of course, earlier this month, he defeated Chris Jericho to cement the fact that he would get the one-on-one shot first. But very recently on Velocity, Jericho got a non-title match with Edge that he cost himself a win by low-blowing Edge in front of the referee. So Jericho was the one standing tall despite a loss. But obviously, and it was that very situation, mind you, that has led to the decision to have a steel cage match here tonight. We don't want any outside interference. We don't want involvement from Edge or Sami Zayn or Chris Jericho or The Miz or anyone else that might want to see one of these two men lose. Or win, in the case of if it's Sami Zayn coming to potentially help CM Punk. We don't want any outside interference. We don't want any fucking shenanigans. We want to see a good fucking steel cage match between CM Punk and the Rated R Superstar, Edge. Can Edge once again successfully defend his belt against longtime friend, or just like longtime friend and rival Jeff Hardy has been doing for the TV title? Or will the self-proclaimed best wrestler in the world, the Chicago-made Punk, will he finally take this opportunity that he earned 3 months ago, and will he capitalize on it, winning the world title? That is the question. As the cage is lowered, we've got Mike Dyson at ringside, and I need to turn this shit on. As Punk was able to counter, but Edge double knees to the skull, and Punk Face first off the steel already. Edge playing no games. And then stomps the face in as well. Like I said, Edge wasting no time here. Trying to just beat the brakes off of CM Punk. Oh, but Punk able to counter. Ducks underneath. Into his classic swinging arm drag. Swinging neck breaker. What the fuck am I doing? What the fuck am I thinking? Punk already climbing. Trying to make this a quick match, a quick SummerSlam main event. And Edge says, get the hell off of there. You cannot escape me that easy, Punk. This match ends when I say it ends. Now Edge sends him flying towards that steel again. He goes back first. Oh, Edge with an enziguri there. Oh, Punk caught the leg windmill kick. And Punk keeping the Rated R Superstar down on the ground. And once again, trying to quickly get out of this match. But Edge is right there. He's recovering. And he's pulling him back down to go face first off the floor again. And another boot to the face. Oh, but Punk with a big forearm there. Oh, but got caught. Just going back and forth here as Punk trying to fight Edge off of him. Big shots to the gut. But now in the corner, the running high knee, and Edge able to counter. Got him on his shoulders and throws him back first into the cage again. As Edge, he wants him back on his feet. As the damage being done, he runs in for the Edge-o-matic. Going for the quick pin. Got a 1. Got a 2. And Punk kicks out. Just Punk using the ropes to recover. Edge off the opposite rope. Spear! Spear off the ropes. Got a 1. Got a 2. And Punk kicks out again. Just able to get the shoulder off the canvas. But Edge now asking Mike Dyson, our senior official, to open the cage door, saying it's over. And now Edge trying to escape through the door. Punk trying to pull him back in. Can he do it? He can't get himself out he can't push Punk away, trying as hard as he can. But it looks like Edge. It looks like he might be stopped by Punk. I think he will be. Yes! Punk able to keep him inside. Punk able to keep him inside. And now taking the advantage. But can Edge recover? He quickly gets back up. Oh, try to slam him face first into the cage again, but Punk actually able to fight him off. Punk actually able to fight him off here. And stopped again. And pulled off the cage again. Oh, try to go for a powerbomb, but Punk able to fight out. Now, in the corner. Here we go. There's the Bulldog this time. It worked. Oh, had him up on his shoulders. Perhaps GTS, but instead, inverted DDT. And now calling for Punk to get back on his feet. He tried to pull him in, but Punk able to counter as well. Now Punk measuring, calling for it. Go to sleep. And Edge able to kick out. He nearly didn't. But the match is not over yet. Now Punk. He's feeling good. He's got the Rated R Superstar dazed and confused here as he's climbing. But Edge able to just recover. And he pulls him back down again. Oh, Punk able to move out the way. And now, Edge, the one going back first against the Steel. A taste of his own medicine for doing it so many times to Punk. But Punk. Oh, DDT. Now going for a quick pin. But not even a one. Edge saying, get the hell off of me, Punk. Now just going back and forth, trying to stop each other's strikes. But Punk caught him with a Bulldog. And now once again climbing. Once again climbing. Can he get out this time? He's tried so many times. He's on top of the cage. And Punk. Just being struck constantly and being pulled back inside. Now Edge moving away. He tried to climb, move away and climb. Almost got his head face first off the Steel, but he's fighting Punk again. He knocks him off the top. Or he knocks him off. And Edge, he's climbing. On top. No! He crashes and burns. He crashed and burned. Now Punk. He threw caution to the wind. Oh, but Punk. Oh no! He blocked the spear. Holy hell, what are we witnessing? Somehow Edge is still in it after diving off the top of the cage and eating shit. A couple of boots. And now Edge in the corner, crazy look in his eyes. He wants the spear, but again, Punk has the counter. Again, Punk had the counter. He's measuring. And again, he's got him up for a second. Go to sleep. And Punk, CM Punk gets the pinfall win in the middle of the ring in the steel cage. And he has finally ended Edge's Velocity World title reign here at SummerSlam. Edge could have won. Punk could have won. And Punk did win after a second go to sleep in the middle of the ring. And at the end of the day, what might have happened, I mean, obviously the dive off the top of the cage definitely had an effect on Edge, but also what could have played an effect was Punk trying to escape time after time after time again, and using that as a way to wear down the champion, the now former champion. But regardless, CM Punk finally got that one-on-one opportunity for that title, and he made sure it was successful here tonight. He is the Velocity World Champion. Congratulations, CM Punk. Daniel Bryan successfully retains the No Mercy World Heavyweight Championship by beating Shinsuke Nakamura once again. Dakota Kai becomes the first women's Intercontinental Champion on Velocity. Cedric Alexander successfully retains his No Mercy European title. Jeff Hardy retains his Velocity TV title. Nikki Bella completely ruins a match between Charlotte Flair and Sasha Banks, not allowing that match to even start. Asuka is the first women's world champion on Velocity. Beth Phoenix is the first No Mercy women's world champion. And CM Punk is the new Velocity World Champion. What a night of events here. Holy hell. And of course, next time you tune in, things will be different, as I was talking about earlier in the show. And we'll get into it. We will for sure get into it. But for now, that's all I got. That was the SummerSlam pay-per-view here in the Velocity and No Mercy universe. And until next time, well, I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, leave a like, comment down below, share it on social media, do all that good stuff. And until next time, I'll see you later. Bye, guys.